Hello there, you're on the Heart of Reddit channel. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe to the channel. Get your popcorn ready and enjoy. Rules are rules, boss. Gotta go. My friend was one to show up a half hour early before work and was a commission-based salesman with salary, just like the other salesmen, who would always show up barely on time 2 hours late. Friday night comes along and management decides to hold a meeting to announce the new policy. If you're late, you go home for the day, and if you're late 3 days a month, you're fired. The weekend goes by and everyone is on time. During the week, a few people call out sick right as the store opens. The weekend is coming up and my buddy is scheduled for Saturday, but not Sunday or Monday, and he's going to Disneyland with his wife, who has Saturday, Sunday and Monday off. Friday night he packs his wife's car. Saturday comes along and he's in the parking lot a half hour early. He pops in his favorite cassette, fires up a joint, and proceeds to hotbox his car. He walks in 5 minutes late, reeking a pot, looks at the clock, and then to his boss in front of the whole sales floor, and loudly says, "Oops, I'm late. Guess I need to go home," with a sheet-eating grin on his face. The bosses started backpedaling the policy and started to tell him it wasn't for him, and they'll let it slide. He loudly stated that it wouldn't be fair if they made an exception for him, and that he would see them Tuesday. When he got back to work on Tuesday, the policy was gone. Same company years later hired some absolute genius of an accountant, who sold the idea to management that employees were making more than management, and that they should go from commission to salary. All the top salesmen jumped ship ASAP. The remaining bottom feeders got a raise compared to their normal salary and commission, and they didn't have to do sheet all day to get it. Less than a year later, they shut their doors for the last time. Can't fire me? I can work with that. Sil worked as a partner in a large healthcare consulting company, which was then bought out by a larger firm. As far as the negotiations for the buyout, one of the provisions was that the incoming partners could not be laid off. The new company apparently didn't want the healthcare consulting part of the business that was Sil's main focus, so they wouldn't allow her to write new contracts. She had a very good reputation and knew a lot of people in the industry, so she got a contract signed for millions of dollars, but her company refused to let her manage it, so it was cancelled. So for the next 12 years, she didn't have any work to do. She would only go to the office for postage and printing. She spent the afternoons going to the movies or playing golf. Every now and then she would have a meeting with her boss, who would try to convince her to quit. She would always say the company was not offering enough money. She eventually got to the mandatory retirement age, and was forced to retire. I think they didn't fire her, because they imagining the amount in the lawsuit they would have to pay. Well, it has to be done properly, doesn't it? I work as a firefighter in a large city fire service in the UK. I won't name it, but it's a big metropolitan area. A few years ago, when I was working in another station from my current one, we all had a watch commander. Is it lieutenant in the USA, who was a complete prick? We'll call him Gov. As in the UK fire service, all the managers are called that, short for governor, which is a fire service tradition. He'd had a big argument with the whole watch the day before after we'd caught him out lying to us. Long story, which ended with him telling us to all go fuck yourselves, and storming out the room. The next day we had to do a fire inspection visit at a large self-storage facility, which is basically for us to check that the fire safety rules of places are being adhered to, and that we know where all the hydrants are, and that we have the right contact details, etc. Normally, Gov would come in with us too, but he was still in a foul mood, and stayed on the fire engine while we all went in. The last thing he said was, "Just be quick as I've got so much office work to do." Well, once inside we asked a staff there to unlock each storage unit, and we checked almost every one in there, and there were loads of them in there. Even the storage unit manager looked surprised, and said, "It's never taken this long before. Normally just a quick look overall would do, but not today." We all, though. When we got outside, Gov was furious and asked why it had taken so long. We simply explained that we were doing our job properly, and asked him if he wanted us to cut corners with regards to fire safety. He obviously couldn't say yes to this, so just sulked and said nothing. He ended up working late that day to catch up with his office work, unpaid overtime, while we all went down the pub. We made sure to wave at him as we all left the building.